huge congratulations. You're into the quarterfinals of the Betfred World Matchplay and you've just beaten the best player in the world. I know your emotions must be all over the place right now, but how does that feel and sum up the evening?
Can I shake your hand first, Phil? You know, you've been on the journey with me. This guy from the BDO who was BDO for life, you know, was the statement I made. 3 Lakesides, I was happy, I was content. But I was ridiculed at times for winning the Lakeside. You know, loved my social media. You win Lakeside, and you know, yeah, but you're not in the PDC. They would rip your head off. Michael van Gerwen would beat you 10-0. So it never felt like I was really a world champion. So when you get the opportunity to come to PDC, you dream of moments like tonight, and you know, literally the birth of my daughter, my wedding day, my first Lakeside was still, when I fell to the floor, I've never had a feeling. But then this, and it wasn't the fact I beat Michael van Gerwen. Wasn't the fact it was the match play. It wasn't the fact it's the winter game. It was the crowd. Normally, I'm from Middlesbrough. I have a fantastic support base. But the whole crowd are on my side, and I can't begin to tell you how incredible feeling that was. It was something that will live in the memory, Phil, for a long, long time.
I would say normally that crowd singing "There's Only One Phil Taylor," but tonight it was walking in a Durrant Wonderland. Is there any words you can put into how that felt on that stage, listening to him while you're throwing?
You know my story, you know my life, and you know what I think of Phil Taylor. Phil Taylor once again messaged me today, and they were singing his song to me. It was. I didn't want to cry. I didn't want to show emotion. I wanted to be like Gary. I love Gary Anderson. Just go and get your double out. Go and have a cup of coffee, and you're the world champion. I'd love to be like that, but I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I could see my wife like, oh no, he's going to start crying again. Done it all the time, but God, when they're singing your name like that, and you've gone through an absolute marathon of a game, it was spectacular, Phil. Incredible, unbelievable.
At 10-9 down, you're at the point of no return, and you've got 112 left.
Oh, yeah.
Was that on par with going on to throw for the Lakeside title?
Did he have a dart to win the match? Was he on a double at that point? Was he? Wow. 112 is a lovely finish. You know, and hopefully it was treble 20, 20, double 6. Now hopefully that's what it was. But yeah, it's. I didn't know that. What I remember was going 11 each, or 12-11, 11-10 with my dart, and really bottling it. And I was thinking, I can see what I'm writing on my Facebook status when I've bottled it. I've had that opportunity, and I didn't take it. But Michael wasn't at his best. Well, what do I do about that, Phil? I mean, you've got to capitalise on your opportunities, and that's exactly what I did.
In the build-up to this, you said that Michael was the one that you didn't want to play particularly. Now it's just given you the ultimate belief that you are where you belong in the darting circle.
I'll be surprised if he's been interviewed and he wasn't enjoying my pace. Even I felt slow tonight. I wish I was as quick as Ricky Evans. I wish I was as exciting as Gary Anderson in that. But I felt, and it wasn't intentional. I'm not, I was just wilting. I was struggling with the heat, big star. I mean, look at my forehead. I mean, I'll be staying in all day tomorrow. I went out for a 2-hour walk. Never thought anything of it, but it was quite windy on that seafront. I mean, Sky wanted a couple of interviews there, and I laid on my bed at 2 o'clock. I thought, I'm burning up here, and I got on that stage and I was wilting, and I'm saturated right now, and saturated with happiness. No one will ever take this moment away from me, and yeah, if there's a happier man in England right now, then I'll be surprised.
You said you came to the PDC for the biggest nights. Where does this rank in your darting career?
Second. The first Lakeside was something special. What I will say is that crowd. I will say that crowd was just the most amazing moment. The first Lakeside. This is a guy who was playing local league, county, and a 46-year-old finds himself in a Lakeside final. That was a special moment, but like, I'm 50 next year, playing the best player in the world, the best stage in the world. I'm absolutely elated. I wish I could maybe just find the right words to put out a feel, but out of body experience. Desperate to see my wife right now, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
You're the best. You're the best, Phil.
Glenn, when Michael van Gerwen came back at you and started really hammering in the treble 20s and started with sort of a flurry of action, what was going through your mind then?
I was waiting for him to kick in because I know he's not his best right now. I could even, twice I looked at the left, the big screen, and could see the averages. I was round about the 103 to 100 mark. So I knew that I wasn't playing terrible, but I was still waiting for him to do his 118, 120 average. But I think my statement right now is you've got to capitalise on your opportunities, and I didn't have Michael at his best tonight, so I took that opportunity.
In a match like that, would you rather not know what your average is, or would you rather get on with the
there's a big screen to your left, and twice I was 100.0 and one I was 103.5. For me, it lifted me because honestly I was wilting. I was struggling tonight with the heat. I was, and I'm someone where put me in the Sahara, put me in Las Vegas at its hottest, and Dubai, and I'd be a happy man. But tonight I struggle big style. I feel like I've got a little bit of sunstroke, and I've got a day now to reevaluate, to celebrate, to look exactly what I've done, and I'm a proud man sat here.
And do you think this is another step to proving the few doubts that you have left wrong?
No,
that you beat Michael van Gerwen?
I've got nothing to prove to nobody no more now, and I stopped reading the rubbish a long time ago, because 99 people will say something nice, one will say something bad. That's social media. I'm a huge fan of social media. I accept people who give me a hard time. Whether you like me or you love me, I'll be on social media tonight, and I'll be celebrating. So, no, you're just looking at a man now who is just probably climbed the biggest mountain he's ever climbed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Glenn, just a couple from me. I just want to talk about, obviously, now that's a winning record you've got against Michael van Gerwen now. It's 2-0, isn't it? Obviously. Did that Pro Tour win, obviously, there's a completely different circumstances because you're not playing on the Garden Slope. But did that actually, did you get that belief throughout the game, thinking, do you know what, I've beaten him once on the Pro Tour, I could probably do it in the match play?
The Pro Tour, I felt incredible. The Pro Tour was 128 people. You win your first round, which you're really nervous. Last 64, last 32. When I played Michael last time, I was probably at my peak. The room was a lot quieter all of a sudden. Is Michael as excited to be in a semi-final of a Pro Tour as much as Glen Durrant? Probably not. And I played fantastic darts that day, and but I never once thought, to play Michael on a stage like an Ali Pally or a match play, and go dart for dart with him. But I've said it a few times now. I capitalised on the opportunity. Michael's not at his best right now, and he'll come back. But that's not my problem, and I don't think he enjoyed my pace tonight. I felt I was a little bit slower than normal, but I was wilting. I was really, really struggling with the heat, and I blame Sky for that, for interviews on the seafront.
Last question, and then you can go and see what. I know you're desperate to go and see it. I'm going to talk about the quarter-final. I know we've obviously got to talk about this amazing game, but you've got a day off tomorrow, potentially playing James Wade either Thursday or Friday in a quarter-final. How excited are you to get back up onto the stage in a long format as well? You've gone through a ringer again, you've gone through that long format already during this game against Michael van Gerwen. I think it's going to help you against James Wade.
Is it first to 16, the quarter-finals?
It is,
wow.
Yeah, it is.
I really need to sort.
Enjoy the heat there.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't given it easy, have they? Adrian Lewis, Michael van Gerwen, and then James Wade. Not once have I thought about winning this tournament. How can you when you've drawn Adrian Lewis? How can you when you've got Michael van Gerwen? I might dare to dream now. James is just the most. Only he could win from 9-5 down on Sunday. Only he could win that match today against whoever he played, because he was. Only he can do that. I'm a huge fan of James Wade. Me and Dennis like James. We've spent time with him, and it'll just be another match. But I'm going to celebrate now. I'm going to use tomorrow to just evaluate exactly what I've done, and be proud, be happy, and then I'll go again on Thursday. But hopefully I'm not on last this time. I'd love to go on at 7 o'clock when it's not too blisteringly hot, but but absolutely delighted.
I think we can all say you deserved it.